Hello all, today we are going to go with looking into the Unit 2 standard costing. So under this first we are going to go first looking into the material variances today. So here these are the formulas which we are going to apply. So this is going to be the very easiest chapter because only the thing you have to do is you need to by heart your formulas. So when you can able to by heart your formulas, this is going to be the easiest one. So the first among all the formulas is the material cost variance, which is nothing but standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. Whereas material price variance, the price is the main one, so that's why the formula is going to have the same standard price minus actual price, which is multiplied with the actual quantity. Then when it comes to the usage is nothing but a quantity. So my bracket should consist of my quantities. So standard quantity minus actual quantity, but is multiplied with the standard price. So these three will be the very main important formulas which will be asked even for a short. Whereas the other two is material mix variance. This material mix variance we are going to apply only in the case when my standard quantity, total of standard quantity and total of actual quantity differs. That I'm going to show it all together in one sum, so then you will understand. So whenever you have a quantity difference between a standard and the actual, then in such case the material mix variance is going to come. So how we are going to apply is the standard price we are going to multiply, and within a bracket it is same usage variance only, that is quantity, and minus actual quantity. But here the revised standard proportion we are going to do. So how the revised I'm going to do is, this is a formula. How the revised quantity will be calculated is standard mix by total standard input into actual input. So this is how you are going to find it out. Or else you have one more simple formula to remember, which is going to be very easy for you, is we are going to find out with total actual input divided by total standard input multiplied with standard mix. So this is the way also it is one and the same. To just I'm putting this here, I'm just like shifting this one. So total actual input divided by total standard input multiplied by standard mix. So what is that? I'm going to tell you along with the problem. The next one is material yield variance. Yield variance, the yield means it's a profit or a loss. So whenever you have got anywhere it has been talked about a loss or profit, in such case the yield variance will come. If no such kind of a loss or profit has been mentioned, then you need not go for finding out this formula. So how the yield variance is going to be the average standard price per unit, which is again multiplied by standard loss on actual input minus actual loss on actual input. So how the standard price is calculated is total cost divided by standard output. That is how we are going to find it out. Now this is a question we are going to discuss, that is standard material cost is 100 kgs of chemical X is made up of chemical A 30 kgs, which is of 4 rupees per kg, then chemical B, which is 40 kgs, which is 5 per kg, and chemical C, which is 80 kgs, which is 6 rupees per kg. So here we are talking about whatever the chemical X we are going to make it up, that we are making with a combination of this one. Now in a batch 500 kgs of chemical X was produced from the mix of chemical A 140 at a rate of 588. He didn't give per kg price, he is giving overall. So if you want to find out a per kg film, then you are going to divide 588 divided by 140. You are going to divide 585 divided by 140, then you will able to know what it is. So for example, if I am talking about 588 divided by 140, then your per cost will be 4 rupees 20 paisa. So that's how you are going to find it out. So this is what he gave, whatever the paragraph he is giving us, it is all he is giving about the actual production unit. So whatever we have got above part, it is about a standard, whereas the next below part is actually giving about the actual quantity. So the standard quantity he gave for 100 kgs, whereas the actual quantity he gave for 500 kgs. So X was to be produced with a mix of A with a 140, B with a 220, and C with a 440. Now he gave overall price. We have to divide 1056 in divided by 220. Likewise, 2860 divided by 440. Then you will get able to know about your per cost. So calculate all the material variances, whatever you can get it. That is what he is asking. So please have a look with the question once again. So this is the question. Now I have calculated, converted the data. Standard data is converted from 100 kgs to the 500, because remember, the 500 kgs is the actual output which has been produced, whereas the 100 kgs is about the standard. Now whenever what we are producing, that is important, right? The actual is important. So that's why we will convert 100 into 500 rather than 500 into 100. We actually convert what is the actual quantity. So that is very important. So now whatever I had a data of 30, 40 chemicals, A chemical 30, B chemical 40, and C chemical 80, actually it was only for 100 kgs. But whereas if I have to make a comparison, the comparison has to be equal comparison. So whatever 100 kgs data is there, now I'm converting into 500. So how I'm going to do it? 30 kgs is for 100 kgs, means 500 kgs it is going to be how much? Likewise, 40 kgs for 100 kgs means for 500 kgs how much? Likewise, I'm going to go with this one. So when I'm going with a cross multiplication, 30 into 500 divided by 100, 150 kgs. So this 150 altogether is for my 500 kgs of output. So now the comparison has been equal. So now I have to go for compiling. I have compiled the condition wherein my actual output is 500 kgs. Now my standard is also has been converted into 500 kgs. So that is the reason I will go with now getting into the formulas and solving the things. Now I have recorded my data according to my equal comparison. So this is also for my 500 kgs of chemical X, wherein to make that chemical X, I have to use three different chemical combinations A, B, C. And now I have made my actual data equally to my standard data. So this is how whatever we have got from above, we are just recording it. So 150, he only gave us 4 rupees, which was standard cost is 150 into 4 is equal to 600, 200 into 5 is equal to 1000, 400 into 6 is equal to 2400. So this is how my total cost is going to be. Total standard cost is going to be 4000, and the standard quantity, total standard quantity, or is total standard input, what we call, that is 750. Now I have to go with my actual data also. The actual data, this one, he only gave 150 at the rate of 580. But how I have got here per unit, I need to go for finding out per unit also. So just now I said 588 divided by 440 you will do. So you will get how much I said, 4 rupees 20 paisa. Just now I have shown you in the beginning. Now likewise I'm trying to do it for the other one also, that is 1056 divided by how many units ma? 220, which is equal to 4 rupees 80 paisa. And likewise I'm going to go with doing about this one also, that is 2860 divided by 440, which is 6 rupees 50 paisa. So simply I'm writing all my cost per unit, 6 rupees 50 paisa. So here the quantity is 800. See here, there is a difference in the quantity. So in this case I have to find out material mix variance. So if the quantity is same, no need of finding. But if the standard quantity is differing with the actual quantity, then you have to find out compulsory the material mix variance. And this is our actual cost. Now, first one is very easy to find out when I talk about a material cost variance. The calculation of material cost variance is nothing but standard cost minus actual cost. So, simply 4000 minus 4540. That is what I have given you the formula also. So, standard cost is nothing but standard quantity into standard price. So, standard quantity into standard price, which is 600. Standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price, which is going to be this one. Okay, so simply when I have got my cost, I need not go for individual. Simply I'm going to minus my 4000 standard minus actual. No, so 4000 minus 4504. Now, first formula when I'm going with material cost variance, it is very simple. Standard cost minus actual cost, which I said there is a direct. No, if not, you want to have a expansion of your formula. That is nothing but standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. But anyhow, I have got direct here. So simply I'm going to add 4000 minus 4505. So therefore I'm going to get minus 504. So whenever it is a minus, we use called sign A. A is nothing but adverse or unfavorable. Now let us go with doing our price variance. So price variance, I have got three different prices here. So that's why I'm going to go for doing separately for all chemical A, B and a C. Now material price variance. So the formula is standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. Standard price minus actual price multiplied by the actual quantity. So here we have a different prices for chemical A, B and C. So I'm taking it separately. This was also, if you want, you can take it separately, but anyhow I got a total. So either the way, if I do, I get the same total. So I didn't do it separately, but now the price is variating between all these things. So that's why standard price is 4, whereas actual price is 4.2. So I need to go for doing it detailedly. So that's the reason I am doing in this format. So 4 minus 4 point means 0.2 you are going to get it. So 0.2 when you are going to multiply with 140, how much you are going to get? Let's check it out. So when I'm going to multiply 4 minus 4.2, which is equal to 0.2, which is multiplied with 140. So whenever I'm doing 140, I got 28. That too minus 28. So that's how I'm doing for all the things. So first one I got it. 28 adverse. Second one like that I got 44 favorable, because 5 minus 4.8 means you will get directly 0.2. And whereas the next one also I'm going to get adverse A. So now I'm going to go for net, finding out net. These are two are minuses, so when I'm going to add, it is going to be 248. Yeah, 248 minus 44. If I do, my answer is going to be 204 adverse, because my minus sign is more bigger. So this is, now we'll go with the material usage variance. Now, once I'm going with this one, now material usage variance, the formula is usage means quantity, I said. So that's why in my brackets, within my brackets, I'm going to have a quantity, that to standard quantity minus actual quantity, which is multiplied with standard price. So as I said, again the quantities are differing, so I have to go for separately for my chemical A, B and a C. So 150 is my standard minus 140 actual. So I'm going to get how much? It is a plus 10 I'm going to get. So 10 into 4 is equal to 40, which is my favorable. I'm going to get it. Whereas 200 minus 220, which is minus 20. So minus 20 means it is a 100 minus, which is I'm going to call it as adverse. And then 400 minus 40, it is going to be minus 40, which is multiplied with 6. I'm going to get 240 adverse. So two minuses when I'm going to add, it is going to be 340. 340 minus plus 40 is going to be 300 adverse. So this is how I'm going to find it out, my usage variance. Now let's go. I said no just now that we have got standard to be 750 and actual to be 800, so our quantity is differing, so I don't have a choice. I should go for doing out my material mix variance, wherein I'm going to recorrect my standard variances to that of my actual variances. Then I will sort out a solution. Now, as I said, we'll be doing with the material mixed variance. So, material mixed variance, I said we had got 750 standard and actual we got is 800. So, now this one I have to equalize to this then, so that it is going to be easy for me to find it out the solution. So that is the reason 750 I'm converting into this 800. So how I'm going to convert it means this is the way we are going to do it. So what is that we are going to, the formula is revised standard quantity minus actual quantity multiplied with standard price. So whereas the revised standard quantity is find it out as total actual mix divided by total standard mix multiplied with standard quantity. So total of actual was 800 and total of standard was 750. So this is the same ratio wherein I'm using in every case. Whereas a standard quantity is nothing but a separate quantity for chemical A was 150 and separate standard quantity for chemical B was 200 and for C it was 400. So this on this side I'm going to take actual total mix of actual quantity divided by standard quantity. This will be common. Only the thing it changes is the actual whatever the standard quantity was there, that we have to change it now. So that's why each and every amount I'm going to change it. So when I'm going to multiply, it is going to be 800 divided by 750 into 150. When I'm going to do it, I'm going to get around somewhere a point of 159.99 something I am getting it. So can't I make it 160? So that's how I'm going to make it here as 160. Likewise, when I'm doing my 800 divided by 750 into 200, I'm going to get around 213.3. Likewise, when I'm doing the last one, 800 divided by 700 into 400, I'm going to get likely 426.67. So that's how when I was adding, I got my total actual quantity and this total standard quantity to be equal. Now simply substitute in the formula. What is that? Standard price into revised standard quantity minus actual quantity. So standard price is 4 rupees, 5 rupees, 6 rupees. So 160 whatever we got revised standard quantity minus actual quantity 140. Revised standard quantity we just now we got 213 minus 220 and revised standard quantity what just now we got it minus the actual quantity 150. So when I'm going to multiply it, all I am going except to this one, the rest all I'm going to get all the negative values. So first one I'm going to get a favorable, second one I'm going to get 33.5 adverse, and last one I'm going to get 80 adverse. So when I'm going to minus it, overall net 33.5 adverse, 80 favorable, one we adverse we got 80 favorable. If we take away these two, the leftover is 33.3 adverse we are going to have it. So this is how the material mixed variance we are going to find it out. So hope it is clear for you.